Alright, YouTube, this is week 7 of the 10-week challenge. I think it's 7. So, this week's a little bit different. Instead of, I showed you videos from my locals, but I also entered the regional, which I dropped that after the second round. I lost the first one to the mirror match, and then I gave the win to the next guy. I beat him 2-0 though first. And then I entered the Winamet, and I had to play against Bujin, Girgia, and then the Hat mirror match again, and I won the mat. You'll get to see it in a sec, so don't hold your horses. Then I just went undefeated in the locals. Pretty good games, actually, I think. So, well, let's get started. So, play the 3 Myrmeleo, the 2 Dionea, and that's the Traptrix lineup. And then I play the 2 of each hand. This 3 guy was kind of clogging on me, but I sided them, so in case the deck is, playing at something bullshit. The 3 Molotech and the double Beagle Tech. For some reason, I'm an Artifact God, and I can only draw them and never anything else. Triple Maxi. This card surprised every Hat player at the regional. Gen X Ally Birdman. I'll get into the combos at the end of the video. 3 Ignition. 3 Duality. Dichotomy. Honestly, every time I drew Dichotomy and I could play it, it pretty much put me from, it's a close game. I could win, I could lose too. I'm gonna win this. It's a +1, and it's gonna give you back your guys, which is essentially gonna keep all your cards live, and it's gonna put you in a better spot. So this card is really just too good. 1 is fine though, because I generally draw it late game when I need it. 3 Sanctums, 3 Traptrix Shuffle Nightmares, 2 Call the Haunted. Good to bring back all of your guys, pretty much all of them are good targets. Double Dimpriz, double Breakthrough Seal. I honestly wasn't thinking this card was that great this format, but after actually playing the mirror match a couple times, I realized how great this card is and how useful it is. Because once you have it in graveyard, and they just go for their artifact plays, if you don't have the Traptrix Shuffle Nightmare, this card's going to be the only thing saving you from getting disrupted. Searchable Bottomless, go with the Trap Holes, Compulse, and Torrential. I didn't play Solomon here, because honestly, with the 3 Traptrix Shuffle Nightmares, and the Sanctums being able to summon out a guy and disrupt their plays, you really actually don't need the warning. Like, you might go, well, if they summon something that you can't handle. Do you see this deck? Do you see this, back row? Warning isn't always going to help, and if you go into time, you're going to be really, really out of luck. So, that's the Trap card lineup. So going into the extra deck, we played those guys, but these are our 5s that these guys go on top of. Well, him on top played these, one of those 2. Durandal is always great whenever your opponent only has 1 back row and you're going to push for game. You just make it, Durandal after you set a card. Doesn't matter what card, you're going to push for game. And then you go attack, and they go Dimpriz, you just go detach, pop my back row, attack still goes through, take care of it. Pleiades, always getting good combos off of it. And Volcasaurus into the Cryo Charger wins games. 1 Daigusto Emerald, probably one of the best rank 4s in the deck. It just gives you more recycle power, and it isn't specific types or anything. So you can go ahead and put back 2 fire and an ice, and then if you can protect it till next turn, which is not hard, you can then put back everything else. Double 101, great card, obviously. 1 Exciton. Ragna 0 was kind of useless. I didn't play Heartland Draco. I'm going to take it out for Heartland Draco, because that would have totally helped in the mirror match. And then I played Cowboy and Black Ship. Black Ship is great against the hands. Generally I summoned Cowboy so that I could detach Myrmeleo, so I can summon Dionea and bring back Myrmeleo again. That's why I played it half the time. I played it 1 time for the actual, 800 or less burn per game. But alright, now these last 3 cards is the reason why we play Birdman. We have Black Rose, Stardust, and Beals. Now you might be like, well, how are you going to play this stuff? Well, that's the easy part. So, if you have... Alright, I'm just going to pull out a few things here. Dionea, pull back the Myrmeleo, and you have Birdman in hand. You're going to summon, pull back, bounce the hand, summon Birdman, Synchro, Black Rose, blow board. He's obviously banished. Next turn, summon, pull back, rank 4 play. For a +1 deck, you're reusing this guy. That's pretty useful. Another thing I just did was, well, the standard Birdman in hand, Ignition, Beagle Tech. Go Ignition, pop, Beagle Tech, special, set, pop, special, pop another card. You're generally going to do that to disrupt their plays. But now it's your turn. So you have Birdman in hand. You can either just summon him and synchro into either of these, or if you have another Ignition, or if you have a Sanctum down, you can bounce Moral Tech to special, and then synchro into either of these. This one's the mirror match, because the only thing they have that doesn't destroy is Compulse and Dim Prince at 101. But with the breakthrough skills and all that, you're not worried about 101. And with the Trap Trick Shrapnel Nightmare, they detach its cost, and then negate it, destroy it, they have no material, so it dies. Beals wins pretty much every other matchup. Now, another thing you can do is if you have an artifact up, and this is your hand, you can just go summon, search a Trap Trick Shrapnel Nightmare, bounce for Birdman, synchro into Beals. You set the Trap Trick Shrapnel Nightmare, so even if they go 101, which is their usual answer, then you just, you activate 101's effect, negate, destroy, he's still good. So that's the main reasons like why Birdman's actually useful in here, is he just combos with the deck. You can recycle things. If you don't special summon him with his own effect, you can still call the Haunted him. And also, he is the only machine type in the graveyard, so if you have him in grave, you can use Bahada Dichotomy to put him back in the deck. So if that's like your third type, still works. Alright, so 3 synchros, that's all you need. Mirror match, anything. Going on to the sideboard, we have the third Fire and Ice. The double Nobleman and Crossout basically to knock out the mirror match, knock out the hands. Also good against Girgia. You know what? I'm starting to not think this is that great for Madolche, but assuming I play a Madolche player that is actually going to try and OTK me, and I don't have Ignition, I guess this could kind of work, but most of the time you're going to have Ignition, or if they go... What? I'm kind of... I don't know. Honestly, this... I don't know if that's really that great. Triple MST, because you don't main any. Double Wiretap, great for the mirror match, great for most everything else. I wasn't playing these during the regional. I was playing like Thunder King and Deep Dark Trapple. I was letting my buddy borrow these. Actually, the cameraman right now.
Yo.
He always does that. So, I just put those in for the locals. They helped out. And I want to say this right now. Birdman is the single greatest tech in the deck. And people that are just going online and just copying this, copying the regular deck, think about this card. I had at least 4 hat players say, "You play Birdman? Like you make Beals, you make Stardust?" Like I won the mirror match for the Winamat with Beals. I summoned him, he couldn't handle him. Game 1, Game 3, I summoned out Stardust, and I had like 2 other guys up, and it's like attack, pass. I knew he had Dimpriz, but he wasn't going to activate Dimpriz unless he was on Stardust, because that's one of his only outs to this card. He can't go artifacts. He can't summon them. If he does, Tribute Negate comes back. If he activates Trap Hole Nightmare, Tribute Negate comes back. Like I am not worried about my opponent whenever I have this card. They can't pop my back row. They can't use Ignition. They can't use their hands. They try to use their hand. It's like negate. Come back, still. So, Stardust wins the mirror, and having access to it in the mirror is going to give you the edge. Birdman gets my seal of approval. Well, that's really about it. Won the match, went undefeated locals. I really didn't play enough in the regionals to actually give you an actual result. I wanted to just play to win a match, so. Yeah, it was fun. I mean, nothing bad happened. I didn't really have any bad hands. Occasionally I draw like double hands, but honestly, when you get in the mirror match, all that happens is this. It's just set a hand, set 5 back row. If you have another hand in hand, next turn, set a hand, pass. Because he's not going to attack into you. You're not going to attack into him. It's going to be a stalemate forever. Every mirror match I had, I got down to like 7 cards left in deck. That's just what happened. Neither of us were going aggressive. We were all playing defensive. Eventually got to the point where it didn't matter that, you know, my hand was 6 cards and his hand was 6 cards. It didn't matter if one of us had 5 back row. You know, none of that mattered. All that mattered was just who was going to be the first aggressor, who was going to be the one that repelled them. And with Stardust, you're going to win the repelling. They can't do anything under it. So, all right, guys, that's week 7. Y'all have a great day.